Whatever is happening to you is happening for you. You have to understand that everything that you have been through has been a preparation for what is to come. I had to get that, but I understand it now. And all the times that I thought about giving up, I'm glad that I didn't. This is the journey, part 2.
I didn't have a job that was like consistently bringing me income, right? So I'm like, how am I gonna do this thing? I don't know how I'm gonna do this. It got to a point where I had to find a job that I wouldn't mind doing, to help me figure out finances or funding to pay for what I'm trying to pay for. When it came to season 2 in Atlanta, also I'm having to travel and figure out these locations. So it took some time. I was always a big fan of a particular store. Bought a lot of my clothes out of there, and I was like, at least I can work at this retail store. Have clothes, that I like to wear, and I can actually make a statement and a difference. Because I know a lot of people like me would shop in this store because I've been in that place and I get funny looks because I'm shopping the other side. I'm shopping in the men's section, So like I can be that woman that comes in that dressed, masculine, and when other people, androgynous people come in, they won't feel bad. So I set out to apply, and I applied and showed up to the interview, the way I dress in men's clothes. I got the job. After I got the job, at orientation, it said,
I was told by a clothing retailer that sold men's and women's clothes that I couldn't shop on the other side if I wanted to work there.
I'm sorry, what? I'm not understanding. You hired me in men's clothes, so now that I'm hired, I can't work here, and they're clothes made by your company? So I said, well, help me understand, because I don't get that part about what you're saying, because those clothes are gonna be in the store, so why can I not wear them? And this is who I am. Not to mention, what do you want me to wear? What do you want me to wear? Well, you can wear a polo or some nice, wedges or jeans. I said like a woman's polo and like wedges, shoes, tight fitting jeans. Yeah, no, I'm not comfortable with that. And of course, I got some backlash on it, and I was like, I don't know who I need to talk to, in the company, but that's not cool with me, and I need to understand the reasoning behind it. They ended up giving me the job, and said, hey, I guess some things got to change. I said, oh, wow. So in myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, I made a statement. I stood up for what I believed in, right? I worked 5 shifts, and I was never put on the schedule again. Wasn't told that I wasn't going to be put on, just stopped putting me on. Of course, it was disappointing, but I still had to figure out ways to make things happen. Mind you, I still have a cast in Atlanta that I've already picked. I got a cool idea how I can make this thing work. I can create this virtual type, coaching. We can do this thing. They'll have challenges I can send. I can go back and forth. And when I get to Atlanta, it can happen. Try to reach out, to everyone, and only 2 responded. Devastated. I was so devastated and heartbroken. Oh my gosh. But looking back on it, there's some things I could have done differently. And I'm realizing that it really is all about God's timing, about why things don't work out. I almost thought about giving up, real talk, but I knew this was still part of my journey. And then I started doing research about androgyny, and I ended up finding out that the first person who I would say there was like record of androgyny back in like 1500s was Joan of Arc. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, wait. Joan of Arc. That's my line name. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. That was my line name that was given to me in 2004. I'm finding this out about androgyny in 2015, after I created the Androgynous Model in 2013. How's that make sense? I'm not understanding, right? But I took it as a sign of purpose, because I feel like everything is like laid out. It was part of your journey. It's all a part of it. And it kind of helped me understand and accept more of what was going on. If you guys don't know the story about Joan of Arc, I mean, the only thing I used to know was that, oh, she got burned and she was a savior for people. But actually, she dressed in men's armor, and they say that she used to get like visions and stuff from God, right? But people used to call it like witchcraft. Or then they say she passed away at age 19. My line number was 19. Crazy, right? When I saw it, I was like, oh wow, this is weird. And I started really digging in depth about just her story and my journey and how it was very similar. And I was like, I feel like I'm like a modern day version of Joan of Arc. Because trust and believe, like I've gotten a lot of visions. I see visions a lot as far as, what God talks to me all the time about what I should do. And I've gotten backlash and criticized for certain things. All of 2015, just trying to get myself together. I ended up getting a little part-time job at a gym and building myself up because I think I lost some of my confidence, especially when you know you got a vision, you know what you want, and either you don't have the people, you don't have the funding, you don't have the things, the necessary things you need. But I just couldn't really let it go because I'm seeing these signs like along the way. Even just seeing the word androgyny or hearing androgynous a lot more, just noticing to what was happening in the world, I said it has to happen because now I'm a one-woman show. I gotta find these people, I gotta keep going because remember, it's Nikki Eason presents. It's not the team presents, it's not all of these different people's names, it's one person's name, and I need to get this thing going. So I started scouting social media, finding people and that was interested, doing virtual interviews, FaceTime, Skype interviews. I found about 10 people that was interested in season 2. Had an idea, I'm gonna take this down to like my hometown, I'm gonna make this thing happen. But it was all about time. That gap, 2015 up to 2016, was really me working at a place, trying to get funding and also going through some chaos in my life, that I needed to pay attention to and get away from. So I'm like, I'm gonna film this in my hometown. I wanna take it back to my roots because I think I was on that journey of finding myself. I wanna take it back to my hometown and invite them there. Had about 10 people interested. As the time got close to where they were supposed to meet, the number kept going down. When it was time for the people to show up to commit to showing up to filming for that weekend, it was supposed to be 7 or 8 people that committed. Only 3 of them showed up. I can't say, hey, there's not enough people, you gotta go. I still had to create something. But at that moment, I started thinking about, how can I make this to the point where people are all included?
You already are the androgynous model. So I'm looking for brand ambassadors for the androgynous model. So all 3 of you are going to be a part of the androgynous model. One of you is going to be the brand manager, where the brand manager manages the other ambassadors and works hand in hand with me.
Where I wanted to create opportunities and positions for them to be brand ambassadors or brand manager, like just being a part of the brand. And because I wanted to make sure I had the right people. I didn't want people that just was there just to be seen or just for money or whatever, like clout, as they say. Like it wasn't for that. It was bigger than me, than that. It was a movement, for me. After season 2 was over, I found out that somebody that was a judge from season 1 passed away. What? Passed away. One of my judges from season 1 passed away. Opened my eyes even more why I had to continue. Think about that. I was part of this person's life. What vision that was given to me was part of this person's life before they left this world. Wow. Very humbling and eye-opening. I gotta keep going. There's more people I gotta help.